Alrighty guys, 'tis time for the red pill conversation. I've had countless people in my comment sections on both TikTok and Instagram asking me, Zakia, what happened? You're a Trump supporter? We thought you were for the people. We thought you loved black people. We thought this, we thought that. Did you get married and like your husband forced you to be a Trump supporter? All these are lies, guys. What happened to me was I realized the Democratic Party is a plantation. They lied to us. You're not a victim of white supremacy because white supremacy is not a thing.
What does that feel like?
What do you mean, what does it feel like?
Does
I feel
it
like
feel-
a victim of white supremacy.
So you feel like a victim?
I'm a victim. I'm
And
a victim of white supremacy. Yeah.
And so are they holding you back financially?
Holding me back financially. Well, they can.
Are
they? They can.
Are they?
They can.
No, but are they?
They can.
Well, I didn't ask you if they could.
Can. If I get too powerful, yeah, they'll chop my stuff down just like they chop everybody else's stuff
Well,
down.
are they holding you back financially?
What do you mean are they holding me back? I'm in a prison called white supremacy that's global. So we're allowed, certain black people are allowed to have certain resources, but they know they can take it back.
Are they
from certain
holding
black
Tariq
people.
Nasheed back
Well,
financially?
I'm in a system where they can hold me back.
But right now they're not holding you back.
Well, they can hold me back.
Are they holding you back?
Define holding me back.
You don't know what, are they holding you back from being successful in your life?
Well, I'm successful because I understand white supremacy, and I'm successful as far as I can be, as much as I can be, because they can stop my success at the drop of a hat.
I asked countless people who believe in white supremacy, why do you feel like white people are superior to you?
This question goes to anybody who's using the term white supremacy in my comments, especially if you're a black person. Why do you think white people are superior to you? I don't agree with that. I don't think anybody's superior to me. But y'all do. I don't agree with that, and y'all are mad at me?
When I broke down this question, it was really hard for me to accept this question because when I heard it for the first time, I'm like, what? White supremacy affects everybody in my family. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Everybody I know is affected by white supremacy. How could you even imply that it's not a thing? But as I really pondered that question, I'm like,
Wait a minute.
what can white people do that I can't do? In America, legally. Oh, well, they put us in jail more because we commit more crimes. I'm from Chicago. I know how niggas get down.
Chaos outside a South Loop 7-Eleven Sunday night. The crowd seen here rushing out of the store with their arms full of items, some throwing them in the air. Inside the store, aisles were ravaged and ransacked. Police say now 40 people, mostly teens, are facing misdemeanor charges as a result of the so-called teen takeover.
I know how y'all get down. But y'all want to play pretend and act like, oh, we just get arrested because they don't like us. No. They're not just going to walk up and arrest you, and y'all know this to be true. But I realized that a lot of people pretty much everybody I know is a perpetual victim because of the Democratic Party. They were tricked.
We've been duped!
Duped!
Bamboozled!
We've been Speckledorfed.
That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
At some point in time, they were tricked into believing that they were a victim of white supremacy, and they're going to believe that indefinitely. I can't save you if you think like that. But if you're willing to listen to me and know that I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling my truth, which is the truth. Donald Trump is not racist. I believed that for many years. The high school I went to indoctrinated me into believing that. I was recently going through my Google Drive from maybe 2017 when I was a senior or junior in high school. And I came across a PowerPoint, and I'm gonna pull it up, but I came across a PowerPoint where I was basically equating white supremacists to Trump supporters. I literally put that verbatim. I'm not a white supremacist, but I support Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump is racist at all because he said,
when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
the people who illegally come over here are generally criminals.
Criminals.
But that's racist to say? That's insane. And I've always been one to question what I hear because I like to actually understand what I'm learning. I see a lot of y'all just take in, regurgitate information and just harbor it. No. I like to break it down. I like to analyze it. I like to have a nuanced understanding of what I'm being told. I'm not just gonna listen to what you tell me and just take it. Are you kidding me? And I'm glad I didn't, because I really believe that as a black person, I'm unable to be racist. That's insane. What do you mean I can't be racist because I don't have the power? Who told you I don't have power?
Who told you that?
Guys, we gotta wake up. Let me tell y'all how I ended up getting red pill. Trigger warning, transphobia, homophobia, all that shit. So in 2021, I moved into my very first apartment by myself. I moved out of my mom and dad's house. Rest in peace to my dad. And I lived on my own. And the building that I chose to move into was like a dorm style room where you would have like a bathroom that you would share with a roommate of the same sex. That's what my lease said. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I just was really pressed to move, and utilities was included with the rent, so I was like, fuck it, I'll sacrifice having a bathroom to myself for the sake of, you know, this rent and this utility being with it. So for 1 full year, I'm in this room alone. I did not have a roommate, no roommate. So I had the bathroom in my room and shit all to myself. It was a great time. I was really happy to have my independence. And then I basically moved in with my boyfriend. I preferred to sleep with him than sleep alone. And my bed was too small for us to share, so I stayed with him. One day I came back, and when I go into my bathroom, I'm constantly noticing that the toilet seat is up. And I'm also noticing that whoever the hell is using that bathroom is not flushing the toilet.
Why does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit?
That's what I mean.
Well, it was fucking one of yous. Disgusting!
And I'm like, wait a minute. They never told me I was getting a roommate. Okay, that's whatever. Whatever. I knew this was it was a chance that I would have a same sex whatever roommate, but why the seat up? I assumed it was a girl who lived with me who had her boyfriend with her. Guys, I was wrong. They moved a man in my room. A man who identified as a woman. A man. A man. A disgusting man, y'all. When I tell you that this man did not flush the toilet, period, I mean he did not flush the toilet at all. He would take a shit, take a piss, and leave it in the toilet. For months. So I'm like, they have a man in my room, and I find out it's a man because I see him. I'm not calling him a they, them, she, her, none of that shit.
I don't get into that mentally ill stuff. Okay.
Those are lies. I'm not telling lies. That man they moved in my room, I saw him coming out his room one day, and I'm like, this is a man with titties.
This is your queen? That's a man in woman's clothes. That's a drag queen.
So I stopped paying rent. I'm like, I'm not paying rent, and they moved a man in my damn room. It must be some type of misunderstanding. Maybe they thought I moved. I don't know, but I'm not paying them. And eventually, I reach out to the housing manager. And I'm like, you know, I sent the email, and I still have this email. I'll put it in here too. And I'm basically like, I'm a 21-year-old girl. Y'all put a man in the room next to me without warning. Do y'all not care about my safety? The manager of that building called my phone. I wish I had this in writing. She called me. She told me that they were not allowed to discriminate against him. So I had the option to move. I could move if I wanted to, despite me having been in that room first for over a year. They told me I had to move my shit to another room. They downsized my room. They gave me a smaller room down the hall and let this nigga have the whole space because he showed up.
This is the Ms. Dimsdale pageant. Well, that's a mistake. I'm going out there to prove men can be just as beautiful as women. And there is nothing you can do to stop me.
So I didn't know how to deal with this. And at the time, you know, I'm like talking to my sisters, friends of mine. I'm like, look, they put a man in my room. Like, one of my sisters, who's a huge ally of the LGBT, I don't know if she's a member or not, but she's basically like, Zakia, you know, chill out. He ain't gonna do nothing to you. You ain't gotta worry about him. He ain't gonna bother you. How do you know that? I'm concerned for my damn safety. They put a man in my room. I'm 5'1", 125. I'm a little ass girl. And y'all put this literal man in my room without warning. I had no say in this. But In my lease, it said this is going to be the same sex roommate. So because we're living in a world filled with lies, we're literally lying to each other at this point. Y'all told me that it was okay for a man to be in my room because he identifies as a woman.
So what are you gonna do about it?
We're reporting it.
Are you gonna arrest me? Are you gonna give me a ticket?
This woman simply said she didn't care.
And I ended up moving to the other room, the downsized room. I moved there. And I literally didn't even want to stay in that building anymore because of what happened. I was literally horrified that they were gonna move another man next door to me and have him give him access to my personal space. And I've told people about this and they literally like, well, that's the law. That's the law. So what about me? I thought we were protecting black women. I'm a black woman. I guess not anymore.
I have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And because I'm voting for Trump and not him, I guess I'm not black anymore.
I am not black, nor do I consider myself to be black. Many people mistake me for being Negro because they don't know that I am currently living with the heartbreak of revitiligo. That's a skin condition that's the opposite of what Michael Jackson's got. Every morning I apply this topical ointment made of bleach and sulfur.
Whoops. Guess I need to bleach my skin next. So anyway, y'all. So after this experience with this man that lived next door to me, I became extremely interested in the laws they were speaking on. We come across Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire.
So what is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question is?
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
If you guys have never seen the movie What is a Woman, you need to watch it. Because in watching that movie, I basically learned that the LGBT is indoctrinating children in schools. They want your children. They're here, they're queer, they're coming for your children. This is not a joke. That shit was created by pedophiles. The LGBT was founded by pedophiles. It's a perversion that people are glorifying for what? Because they're sick in the head. And I'm not playing that game. I used to really want to play that game with people. I wanted to be polite. You know, I didn't want to trigger anyone. All this other bullshit. Who cares? I was triggering God every single time I lied.
What you have done has made God very unhappy.
And call a man a woman when it's not. If you have a dick, you're a man. Period. And if I'm transphobic for saying that, if that's transphobic of me, block me. Cancel me. I don't care. I'm telling the truth. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. So when getting involved with Matt Walsh and a lot of other people of the Daily Wire, we just felt me and my husband, my now husband, we were not married when we first started going down this rabbit hole, but we pretty much got married due to us going down the rabbit hole. The transgender shit was just the beginning. What was really the red pill for me personally was finding out that I was a feminist and finding out that I was a perpetual victim and I was laying my ass down on the Democratic plantation. And I really allowed myself to just be racist and be okay with it. Guys, I was literally getting canceled on TikTok. Canceled. Because I made a video saying that it's okay for white girls to wear braids if they want to.
Let me tell y'all something very, very, very simple. If you're telling people that they can't do something based on their race, for example, y'all telling white girls they can't wear braids because they're white, that's racism. You're telling them they can't do something based on their race.
Because that's cultural appropriation according to y'all. So, according to black people, you can tell white people or anybody who's not black, that they can't wear braids. Oh, you can't wear braids. And God forbid you're a black girl, you do braids, you do hair, and you do a white girl's hair and publicize that shit? Please, you're gonna become a joke. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna try to get your business canceled.
What the fuck are you doing?
Because you're a traitor. So now I'm a traitor. Okay. If you tell a white girl she cannot wear a hairstyle because she's white, you're telling her she can't do it because of her race. That's racist. Just like if they told your ass you couldn't come in a fucking restaurant because of your race, that would be racism, right? Right? But people act like it's not the same thing because black people can't be racist.
Your little show?
What about my show?
The show is racist.
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system advantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
That's not what I learned. I thought everybody could be racist. If you're talking shit about somebody because of their race, based on their race, that's racism, right? Oh no, we don't have the power to be racist. What power? What systemic power do we lack? Nobody can answer my question. First of all, whenever I even put a post out saying these things, it usually gets ignored. It gets a lot of views, but people don't really interact with it. And the people who do choose to interact with it, every once in a blue moon, I'll have somebody with the actual brain and heart who knows God, who agrees with me. But generally, I have people calling me names. I have people saying, that's why your dad died. Your dad died, now you're crazy. Simply for what I believe in. And it's coming from people who hate themselves the most. Y'all are jokes. I know y'all don't like y'all hair, and y'all don't like me. Because I'm proving out the hypocrisy, and y'all trying to tell a white girl she can't wear braids. Because it's y'all culture. But then y'all don't even like your own culture. Y'all shit on your own culture.
When did y'all realize we can't save all our people?
So y'all, my page focuses on shutting down the normalized texturism in our community. I have so many examples. Natural hair is not for everybody. Girl, perm that crunchy shit. A black person made this. I'm not coming home to no woman with a small black afro. By Al Green, created by a black man. Well, we all claim to love blackness, right? I hope my baby don't come out bad as fuck with taco meat hair. Taco meat hair. I can almost guarantee a black person made this also. We're talking about black babies, y'all. I'm cool on all that natural shit, bitch. Go get your fucking hair done. I think it's safe to assume Gucci Montana is probably a black man. The fact y'all got ninja hair and trying to get tape-ins is just crazy. I could go on forever, y'all. I have hundreds of examples. And if you're a black person and don't see any issue with these posts, you're more than likely part of the problem.
I think it makes sense. So let me just list off a few of my favorite conservative YouTubers. So if you want to educate yourself and, stop being indoctrinated, you can look at these people. So we're going to start out with, like I said, Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire, Candace Owens, Queen.
Really stand on the platform of uplifting our community, cut the crap and tell them the truth. You don't need to be well liked. I'm not well liked. I don't care. I'm not here to be well liked. You want to know what my job is? My job is to be an alarm clock for Black America. You know what an alarm clock does, right? It's a really annoying sound. Everybody hates. There's nobody in the world that likes an alarm clock. But when it goes off, eventually you wake up. My job is to wake up Black America, okay? And the only way I can do it is by telling the truth.
Queen. I want to be like her when I grow up. Who else? Black conservative perspective. You got my boy Greg.
Black folks, Hispanic folks, step your game up. Step your damn game up. Quit the bitching. Quit the crying. Step your game up. If you don't like the fact that you're getting your ass kicked in college admissions to whites and Asians, then work harder. Work harder.
Watch him on a daily basis because he always has the current news. Who else? Mr. Jordan. I'm sorry. Jordan Peterson.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
But I meant to say Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson gave me the biggest red pill of all. I watched a video with him and Dr. Umar Johnson, who I actually, agreed with for whatever reason. I was like, yeah, Africans only. Donations.
Gifts. Donations.
I was quoting that man for years. I love Dr. Umar, and I was looking at a video with him and this man, Jesse Lee Peterson, who my husband, he was like, look at this Uncle Tom guy right here. So while all y'all are saying he's the reason why I'm a Trump supporter, listen to this. So him and I are sitting there watching a video with Jesse Lee Peterson, and Dr. Umar, and I'm listening to what Jesse Lee Peterson, Uncle Ruckus is saying, and I'm like, I'm actually listening, and I'm like,
Reverend Jesse, you say that there's no such thing as a sellout, but you can admit that the word sellout does exist and that it is used, right?
Yeah, it is used, just like the word racism. We all know that there's no such thing as racism. It's a word that made up to deceive the blind. And so when they use the word sellout, it's meant to divide and conquer. But if you're not in a fallen state, meaning that Satan is not your daddy, you can see the game that's being played. Like Dr. Umar just said, he just spoke as a blind man. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Dr. Umar sounds stupid as fuck. Dr. Umar sounds dumb.
Racism is not only about the individual mistreatment of Black people, it is about the systemic mistreatment of Black people. See, racism is a system that disadvantage all members of another group.
Hey, hold on, Darrell, look. Rewind this. Let's listen to this. Listen to what this man is saying. He's making sense. He's asking legitimate questions. They're clowning Jesse. They're calling him a coon, but they're not countering his actual points. I'm tired of all of it. I'm here to tell the truth. And I'm going to leave you guys with this verse that I live by. It's from Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world. Be not conformed to this world. Don't let this world get you. You're going to be doomed.